So remember the other day where Travis Scott almost pissed off the entire sneaker community talking about something like OGs or nothing? Well, as far as his latest move, in my opinion, it's a direct response to that. And I feel like low-key Travis may have just shut everybody up. So we're going to touch on it here in a minute. But first, to kick things off, let's start with the latest sneaker updates. It looks like we got a look here at the Cactus Plant Flea Market Nike Swamp Sponge Dunks, which have been revealed. I think this came from ASAP Bari or Young Lord's Instagram stories. It looks like we got 3 different colorways to look forward to, as these are set to drop coming up later this year. Now, when you talk about a CPFM Nike collaboration, you're expecting to see something off the wall, totally out there. So when it comes to this one right here, I would say, you know, based off of their past collaborations with Nike, these ones are actually a little bit more toned down, but as the name suggests, it looks like you do have a interesting sponge-like material all over the upper of these joints right here, which I'm guessing come this holiday will be very in demand. So them joints definitely ain't looking bad right there. Something a little crazy, some out there. Next up, we got to look at the Brain Dead Adidas Japan Low, which is expected to release coming up later here in August. Now, when you talk about Brain Dead, this is a brand, a collective, which may ring a bell from a pair of like sweatpants that Kanye actually rocked years back, but they're still doing their thing, going strong. The brand is continuing to expand, and here you have the latest Adidas collaboration, which feature this interesting kind of flame-like graphic, or I should say flame-like design featured on the upper. So 2 interesting colorways coming in at $140 a piece. I would say when you talk about Adidas collabs, the Japan Low dates back to like the 1960s, and I think this Brain Dead collaboration is a dope touch. These are looking really cool. So let me know what y'all think about those joints right there. Now, we also have Delta Airlines. Who would have thought a Delta collaboration with Nike would have popped up here as far as sneaker news? But this one is a special one, apparently only available to Delta employees celebrating the airline's 100th anniversary. Now, with this pair right here being only available to employees, you guys feel like we're gonna see these hit the resale market? You could definitely bet on it. And with sneakerheads, anytime there's a shoe which they can't get their hands on, you already know it makes them want these even more. So this is one I'm actually gonna be checking for as far as on the resale market. I'm not gonna be out here paying resale, but it would be interesting just to see like if there is a huge demand for sneakers such as these. But as far as the design, keeping things plain Jane, I feel like on this pair makes these really dope. Now, we also have a blast from the past return. Of course, as you guys know, these classic iconic Nike retros, they always seem to come back in circulation at some point or another. And when you talk about Air Maxes, these joints are definitely one of them ones. Originally dropped back in '96, a year which we saw several different Nike classics hit the market, like the Jordan 11s, plus many more. We got the Air Griffey Air Max 1s. This is the freshwater colorway. And when you talk about Air Griffey 1s, I think this is the first color. This is the one that always comes to mind, one of the OG releases, which these are set to return coming up summer of 2026. Retails $170, and when you talk about nostalgic and iconic 90s silhouette, this is definitely hitting all of those metrics right there. So this is one that the OGs are gonna be definitely excited for, and the new kids that like to get into that whole Y2K 90s look, they should eat these joints up as well. Now, as far as Nigel Sylvester, one of the biggest collaborators here in the sneaker space currently, he has officially announced his upcoming Jordan 1 Low collaboration, which will be dropping coming up here on August 16th. So he found a little creative way of sharing the release details. As far as Nigel, we know that he's recently linked up with McDonald's as well. And when you talk about these joints right here, I would say this is a shoe which has been heavily criticized. A lot of people are calling these trash. They're tired of the pre-aged scuffed looks and everything. I actually feel like it's a pretty cool detail which plays along with the storytelling and everything behind the drop. I think actually something that's also underappreciated, the sail white tongue, which complements the Nike swoosh as well as sole. So I think these are really cool, man. Nice little red bottom on these as well. But when you talk about the Jordan 1 Low, again, Nigel, he's kind of taking that Travis route. McDonald's collaboration, Jordan 1 Low collaboration. When you actually put these against the Travis Scott fragments, like which ones would y'all go with? We know these are gonna be 2 hot Jordan 1 Lows, super overhyped. You guys already know how it goes with these, but look, fragments versus Nigels, like which one would you take? I ain't gonna lie, I probably would go Nigel on these right here. But if we take a look here at the latest Jordan 1s, which we saw Travis Scott spotted in, these go absolutely crazy. Now, remember there was a shiny pink pair of Travis 1 Lows that was reported to be releasing at some time or another, which at one point or another people were saying were canceled. Well, it looks like this is that very same sneaker which has popped up once again, but with an interesting detail which absolutely makes these joints pop like crazy. So you got the full pink almost upper with a like white sail combo, and then you got these kind of like pink red Nike swooshes which really set it off, really pop. And I don't know what it is right now about pink sneakers. I don't know if it's those Awake 5s or what, but for me, I feel like them joints go crazy. I don't know if it's the fit or not, which all kind of comes together. I feel like this is only a look that like someone like Travis could pull off. But when you talk about these shiny pink Travis 1 lows, these go absolutely crazy. And when you line those up to the Nigels versus the Fragments, I ain't gonna lie, I might have to go with these right here. I don't know if it's just the factor that I just seen these pop up out of nowhere, which is kind of like making me get hyped for them or not, but I'm definitely rocking with these. But it doesn't take anything away from these Nigels, which again, I feel like is another solid release. So Travis and Nigel, they get a lot of comparisons, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's, you know, only right, but it just really shows that these two brothers are doing their thing right now, smashing the sneaker game. And there's no official report on this shoe. The last thing we heard was that these were canceled, but I ain't gonna lie, man. Jordan brand, y'all might as well just drop these because I feel like they'll go crazy. I'm not saying I'll be able to grab them or anything like that, but I'm just rocking with the little color pop on them. I think it's a dope looking sneaker. So before we bounce, some recent sneaker releases. Here we had the Jordan 1 High Self-Expression, which we did see hit the sneakers app as well as several outlets. Apparently stock numbers on these joints right here were around like 30,000 pairs. When you talk about the sneakers app drop, you know, this reveals a layer of various colors, all that cool stuff. There wasn't too much hype surrounding that drop, but they're cool or whatever, I guess you could say. And then we also saw Kobe drop a pair of the Protro 4s as well as Protro Air Force 1s, which will feature some updated tech. And this is a Barcelona collaboration or something like that. Apparently Kobe and the Barcelona club had some type of little special connection. And then coming up tomorrow, of course, I'm actually recording this in advance, but for Saturday, we got the Undefeated drop, which of course, you know, people are going nuts for those. And then you got the Jordan 10 Steel, which is kind of a low-key release, you know, with all the hype surrounding the Undefeated joints and everything. But as far as the sneakers app drop, it's actually going to be super limited. They're saying just around 10,000 pairs. So I just want to wish everybody good luck, you know, trying to secure their favorite sneaker releases. And let me know what y'all think, man. Drop your feedback on the topics covered. And as far as these new Travises, bro, like, are y'all as excited as me seeing these? Who knows if they'll actually drop or not, but I just feel like it's a dope shoe. And in my opinion, kind of a direct response to the narrative surrounding him, like being bougie or whatever, out of touch, you know, posting the OGs or nothing like that. I feel like this was a quick way to kind of like, you know, switch that whole narrative real quick. But sneakerheads, you know, they ain't forgetting, but people just seem to forget about stuff so quickly nowadays. But yeah, these go crazy right here. So have a great weekend, y'all. JATV, I appreciate everybody. Smash the like button. If you're new here, make sure y'all subscribe up to the channel. I'll catch y'all next time. Stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out. Love.
Stay safe.